Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. Now, this is where I take a deep dive into a particular company, a particular creator, and I kind of go crazy and examine one particular thing. And today, we're going to be looking at, once again, Penguin Magic. Now, Penguin bring out about 1,000 tricks an hour, and they are constantly bringing new material out, which is why I do so many review show specials on Penguin Magic. It's the only way I can keep up with all of the tricks that they bring out. So today I'm going to be looking at 3 tricks from Penguin Magic. Now, obviously, as with all of the Penguin Magic stuff I review, you can get these directly from Penguin Magic. They also wholesale to magic shops all over the world. So if you don't want to get it directly from Penguin, you can get them from various different magic shops over here in the UK, Magic Box, Monster Magic, Alakazam, just from the top of my head, are all companies that wholesale from Penguin Magic. So you can get them from your favorite magic dealer generally as well. With that being said, we're going to be looking at 3 Penguin Magic tricks today, and we're going to start off with a trick that came out years ago that Penguin have now bought the rights to and re-released. If you're interested, it's a cool EDC. Let's start off with this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be looking at today is Pindemonium by Dan Garrett. Now, unfortunately, Dan Garrett is no longer with us. He's passed away, but that does not tarnish his legacy in any way, shape or form. The guy was an absolute legend and brought out some incredible magic over the years and contributed and created so much wonderful magic, both close up and on stage. And today we're going to be looking at Pindemonium. So Pindemonium has just been bought back out by Penguin Magic. So Penguin have now bought this back out. It's now available to buy and comes with a tutorial by Eric Tate. Eric teaches Dan's original routine. Then after teaching his original routine, he gives his thoughts on the structure of the routine, talks about other ways of doing it, adds a couple of extra moves in of his own. And Eric says on the tutorial that he's been working this in real world gigging situations now for quite a while. And he's got a restaurant in Columbus that he does, a residency, and it's really allowed him to kind of work this in, and it shows. When you see the live performances on the tutorial of Eric doing this, honestly, Dan would be proud. So what is it? Well, in essence, what you have here is you have a 4-phase linking pin routine. And you take 2 pins like this and you link them together and unlink them and link them and unlink them. And that's basically what it is. Now, I'm going to show you a performance of this first of all. On the performance, I am doing a couple of the handling sequences that Eric suggests. So I'm not going with the actual Dan Harlan structure. I'm going with kind of part Dan Garrett, part Eric Tate. But have a look at this performance first of all, so you can see exactly what this is, and then we'll bring it into the studio, and I'll talk you through the pros and cons. We've got 2 pins, 2 sort of safety pins.
They're very big.
Very big, very sort of pointy. But I'm going to show you something. You've seen the linking rings, where you take the rings and you rub them together and they link.
Several times.
I'm going to do the same sort of thing, but with pins. This is going to be amazing. Watch this. It happens on 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. And they linked together. Honestly, at this point, I'm sure you agree, I am the greatest magician of all time. What do you think?
It was all right.
No, I mean, I linked the rings, man.
Very simply. I think Michael could have done that.
Debatable. I tell you, I'll make it a little bit more impressive, okay? I want you to watch. I'm going to hold these here. So I'm going to hold them together, yeah?
Okay.
And I want you to watch down there. So not the bit that opens, the bit down there. If I snap my fingers and blow,
hey,
they separate. Now that should look a little bit more impressive.
That is more impressive.
It is more impressive. Now people turn around to me when I do this and they say, Craig, that's good, but can you link them back together? Now what they do with the rings is they take the pins and they rub them in just the right spot. When they rub them, they link together. You've seen Ryan do this. Ryan does this in his show a lot. He takes the rings and he rubs them together and he gets it in just the right spot. And they link together. Well, that's what you can do with these. They really are linked together. Now, would you like to experience the magic yourself, Jack?
What, me doing?
No, yeah, you're gonna unlink them yourself. Are you ready for this? They're gonna be very exciting. All I want you to do is hold on to here. So hold on to this part here with the one hand, and hold on to this part here with the other hand. You hold on to them yourself, and on 3, you're just gonna separate your hands. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
It's crazy, right? It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I'll tell you how it works, which you're not meant to do, but I don't care. There's a soft spot, right, on this safety pin. There's a soft spot. And if you get the soft spot in just the right space, it'll link. But you've got to get the soft spot in just the right. It's roughly around about the middle. But if you get it in just the right point, see, I'm really struggling right now. You got to get the right point. Watch, it's right here, and if you catch it just as you go down,
hey,
there you go. They link together. And Jack, that is the miracle of the linking pins. I'm going to take that one, and I'm going to take that one, and my friend, you can try and do this yourself, and you can have a go.
Ta-da.
Well done. So that was a performance of Pindemonium, and I'll never forget being at the Blackpool. The first time I saw this routine was at the Blackpool Magic Convention many years ago now. And I went to see Dan. I don't think I saw him lecture, but he had a dealer stand. I'm pretty sure he had a dealer stand. And he was demonstrating this routine. And the second I saw it demonstrated, I knew I wanted to do it. It felt so magical to me. It was a little bit like Crazy Man's handcuffs, in that you had these two perfectly ordinary looking objects, and they were linking, and they were unlinking, and they were linking, and they were unlinking. And I was like, that's just great. That's really cool. I was completely fooled. I had no idea how it worked. And I remember getting the trick, and I'm pretty sure there wasn't a DVD back then. I'm pretty sure it was written instructions. And I remember getting the trick and really struggling with the linking in the written instructions. It was very hard to kind of follow, but I got there. And I remember being almost a little disappointed, because I was expecting something a lot cleverer, like the pins just open up magically and then close up magically, and it's some sort of wonderful gimmick. And when I realized how it does work, I was like, oh, that's a bit disappointing. And then I started performing it, and I realized the reactions it got. And that's not changed. So when you buy this, what you are going to receive are 2 pins. Now, these are really nice pins. They're the big pins that in the old days you would actually use them to tie up a baby's nappy. Very big safety pins, and that's all you get. And the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to have Eric on the tutorial teach you how to gaff these pins up, because you have to do something to one of these pins to be able to make it work. Once that's been done, the next step at that point then is Eric is going to teach you the whole routine. He's going to teach you step by step what Dan Garrett did. Then after that, he's going to teach you a few moves of his own. He's going to teach you a few links that he's created and a few ways of doing that he's created. He's then going to talk about why he doesn't think that the 4th phase in the Dan Garrett routine is the best phase to go for, and that realistically he wouldn't do that if you were him. And then he teaches a different 4th phase that he uses instead. So there's a bunch of different stuff in terms of what you actually get and what it does. The way that this routine works is that you can have these things examined at the beginning if you want to. You can have them examined at the end. It's an instant reset. It'll take you about 4 or 5 seconds to reset, depending on whether you make them examinable. If you want them to be examined at the end, it's going to take you about 4 or 5 seconds to reset. If you don't want them to be examined at the end, you can put them away in your pocket and you're immediately reset. It's up to you. There's a lot of different options in terms of the way that you can go with this and what you can do and how you can perform it and not perform it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a great routine. This is really cool. You know, these days, we always talk about everyday carry, don't we? EDC. What's your EDC? And for me, an everyday carry should be something that just is really, really small, doesn't take up any space, and it's there if you need it. And that's what these pins are. You don't have to have it out if you don't want to. You can have them in your wallet. You can just leave them there. And anytime anybody says, hey, show me a trick, you can reach in, you take these things out, and you go into it. Lots of different options. The angles are really good. You don't need a table. This is the perfect walk-around piece. This is really commercial. It packs small, plays big. It's examinable. You could do this to a big group of people or to a small group of people. You don't need a table. Look, it ticks so many boxes. I love this, and I'm so glad that Penguin have brought it back out again, so a new generation of magicians gets to see exactly what this is all about. But yeah, I'm going to give this a great mark. This gets 95% from me. If you're wanting something that looks really good that you can do almost straight away, Dan Garrett's Pindemonium is the way to go. Now, all improved thanks to Eric Tate. Okay, so next up, we have the Ishihara test by Liam Lebanon. And if you have seen my interview with Liam that went up about a month ago on Talk Magic, you'll know that he talked about this. I'll be honest with you, I remember Sean Dunn showing me a video of this months ago. He showed me the Ishihara test. He actually showed me a video of just Liam doing it somewhere. It wasn't even part of the project. And he said, hey, how cool is this? And I remember thinking at the time, this is very, very cool. In fact, I rang a friend of mine, a guy called Aries, who is colorblind. And I said, dude, you've got to get this when it comes out. This is absolutely up your street. This is brilliant. And it is. It's really good. In essence, what we have here is a very simple, easy to do packet trick with an ending that people don't see coming, but a hook that's really interesting. That's one of the key things here. Half of the battle when it comes to performing close-up magic is to have an interesting hook that grabs people's attention. The hook here is really, really good. It grabs people's attention. It gets everybody really kind of invested in what it is they're about to see. And then boom, you go into this wonderful routine that nobody even thinks of it as a trick. When you're actually watching it, because of the patter about tests and so on and so forth, it doesn't feel like a trick. But then at the end, you've got this wonderful moment that nobody ever sees coming. And you know what? There's been lots of projects out there which are packet tricks where you have a Technicolor explosion at the end of the trick as a finale. And none of those tricks will hit as hard as this. The reason that this hits as hard as it doesn't feel like a packet trick, and it doesn't feel like a card trick. It feels like a test that you're trying to show people, because in essence, that's what it is. But you have this diabolical secret hidden within there that allows you to do this really very cool routine. I'm not going to say anything else. Also, I'm not even going to perform it myself. I'm going to get Liam to perform it. So when we did the interview for Talk Magic, when we did the Talk Magic interview, me and Liam, he performed this trick to me. And Penguin asked me not to actually include that performance because at the time it hadn't come out, and I totally understood that, so we took it off. But we still have the footage. So I'm going to get the footage from Liam showing me this over Zoom, because that's the other thing. This is a really cool trick for over Zoom. Showing me this trick, and I'm going to let you see that, so you can see a live, unedited performance of this over Zoom with me and Liam. And then we'll talk about the pros and cons.
Craig, do you happen to be colorblind by any chance?
No, I'm not. No.
You're not. Did you ever take the test?
No, the Ishihara test. No, I've never heard of it.
Okay, so how do you know that you're not colorblind?
I've just always assumed that I'm not because I can see the colors, but it's true. I've never tested.
All right. So actually, if you haven't been tested, there is a slight chance that you are colorblind. Because people that are colorblind, and I'm also colorblind, so that's how I know. People that are colorblind, they can't tell that they're colorblind unless they take the test. So I'll show you the test, okay? First of all, just a very basic test. Can you tell me what color is this marker here?
It's blue and white.
Yeah, blue and white. And can you see the backs of the cards?
Yes.
Which color are they?
White border with kind of a... It's kind of a light
gray
with a green tinge to it. Gray with a green tinge.
Yeah.
Mainly gray, yeah.
Gray, mainly gray. So that you can see. And what about my shirt?
That is a dark blue.
Dark blue. Okay, so far you're good. This is the actual test. Now I'll show it pretty close to you. This is just the instructions card, yeah? So here you should be able to see the number inside of the circle.
I see a number, yeah. It's a 16 written inside the circle.
Yeah. But as I said, this is just the instruction card. So if you don't see this one, it's a bigger problem. You're not only colorblind, you're really blind. But this is where the test actually starts. So here you should be able to see,
I can see 12.
a number written. You see the 12?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
Okay. And from this distance, you can also see the number here.
That's 7, yes.
Okay, so I can't tell because I am colorblind. I can't see it. And some of your viewers are just finding out they're colorblind.
9.
Which number
Nine.
do you? Which number?
That's a
9.
yeah.
And
8.
here.
8. That's an 8.
And here.
Well, that's a tough one, actually. I'd say 13.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. So you had no problem seeing all of the numbers. I'll
No
try to influence the way you see colors. All right. This will be hard to do over camera, but I'll try. Right now, if I did it correctly, you shouldn't be able to see this one, this one, this one, this one, or that one.
No, I
Did
can't.
it work?
No,
Oh,
I
you
still,
saw.
I still see the numbers. Yeah, I still see the numbers.
Oh, but I wasn't actually talking about the numbers. Do you remember what color was the backs of the cards?
Yeah, grey with a green tinge.
So actually,
What? Look at that.
So this is one of the best packet tricks that's come out in a long, long time. It just ticks all of the boxes. It's easy to do. It packs small. It's instantly repeatable. It's examinable. It's got a great ending. It's examinable at the end, which is really cool about this when you realize just how big an ending this is, and it's examinable. It's got a great hook line that continues through the trick, so people are invested in the performance. They're not even thinking about the trick, they're trying to see the numbers, and it's kind of a really interesting thing. I'd never really heard of the Ishihara test before Liam told me about it. So there's so much to love about this trick, but the most important thing is it's very, very easy. We talk all the time on Magic TV about trying to make things as easy as we can, so that if you're nervous or you're worried, you don't have to worry about that, because you know the nerves won't be an issue if you do something that's really easy. This is just really easy. And by the way, Liam's handling of the frustration count in this will be a standard handling. More people are going to be doing it the way that Liam does it in this tutorial, because honestly, it's just brilliant. But yeah, I love this. This is going straight into my act. This is going straight into my pocket. I know I'm going to perform this. I know I'm going to perform the ever-loving hell out of this. This is one of the best packet tricks that Penguin Magic has ever brought out. And they're responsible for some of the best packet tricks that have ever been released. But this is better. This is absolutely brilliant. I love this. I'm giving it 100%. It gets my highest recommendation. Liam's been on a roll as of yet. You know, he came out of nowhere with the Inverto, and that just blew up the building. And now this, I mean, the guy is doing brilliantly, and it's wonderful to see because he's a wonderful person as well. So 100% from me. This is great. This is an awesome packet trick. It's visual, it's easy, no table required. You can do it anytime, anywhere. It's examinable at the end. Oh my God, this is great. Congratulations, Liam. And the final trick that we're going to be looking at today is Superimpose by me. Now, I've done a video on Superimpose. I did a Matt test on it, where I taught Matt how to do this on camera. And then, after doing the Matt test, I did an expose like I do with most of my products. But I wanted to review it as well, just in case people hadn't seen that. And I'm really proud of this. I've brought a lot of stuff out over the years, and this is right up there for me. I've done 4 close-up jobs in the last 3 days. And this has been, anybody who watches the channel knows that when I do a close-up job, I normally take a regular deck and 1 or 2 gimmick decks. And it varies around all of the time because of, you know, I've got very big repertoires, lots of stuff that I want to do. For all 4 of the close-up jobs that I've done over the last couple of days, this has been the deck that I've chosen to take. And it is really, really cool. Now, I've performed this, when I did the Matt test, I performed this to Matt. When I did the exposed video, I performed this to Jack. So I thought what I'd do is I'd do a very quick, no holds barred performance to camera and keep it less than 60 seconds. Maybe do it as a short or a reel or something. So that's what you're going to see now. This is a really short, bare bones version of Superimpose so you can see exactly what it looks like. Okay, so I've got 4 aces. I'm going to put them over there, and as well as the 4 aces, I'm just going to cut randomly to 3 cards. We have the 4 of clubs, the 7 of diamonds, and the 6 of spades. Now the 3 cards go into the middle of the deck. I want you to watch carefully, do not blink. It happens on 3, 1, 2, 3, just like that. The cards have vanished. You can check, they really have gone. And the reason is over here now, in between the aces, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards right there in between the aces. Now, you're not meant to repeat a trick. I'm going to do it one more time. Watch those 3 cards. The 7 goes there, the 4 goes here, the 6 goes here. Notice they're face up in a face down deck. It goes the same way. I snap my fingers, those cards vanish from the face down deck. And the reason is over here in between the aces, well, I went one step further because now those cards are superimposed onto the aces. What? So there you go, that's Superimpose. I lectured on this. I was at the Ferrybridge Day of Magic recently, and I lectured on this, and I didn't have any for sale. And everybody was coming up to me and asking to buy it off me, and I was like, I can't. This is the only one I've got. I've got a couple more at home, but that's it. But it had a really big impact on everybody that was at that event, and I understand why. It's the best version of collectors I've ever seen. Now, obviously, I'm biased. Take this review with a pinch of salt if you want to. But I think that you guys also know that I typically, you know, you're going to get my honest opinion, and I wouldn't bring something out if I didn't like it. I love that trick. I love that trick so much. Collectors has always been a passion project of mine. I've always enjoyed collectors' routines. I know a lot of magicians don't like collectors' routines, and I can understand why. There's moments in a collector's routine that are less than clean. You've got to switch the collectors out at some point. You've got to have that moment where you're bringing the ace packet towards the deck, and you know you're loading them on, and normally the control section is a bit contrived, but with this, because of how this works, none of that is taking place. Because of how this works, it's very easy to do. The aces are put down on the table or within the spectator's hands or in the spectator's pocket or whatever, or in the card box. There's a million different places you can put them, but they're put down from the very beginning. You don't go anywhere near them. 3 people pick cards with no control. They vanish and they appear in between the aces, and then you've got that lovely second phase. And that's what I've always wanted with collectors, a second phase that really builds on that first phase. And I love the fact that at the end, all of those superimposed cards are examinable, because that's where people want to look, and they look at those cards and they look at the superimposed cards, and it looks kind of crazy. I love this. I absolutely love this. Obviously, I'm biased. Obviously, I'm going to give this a good review because I wouldn't have bought it out if I didn't like it. But I'm so proud of the fact that Penguin Magic bought this out. And out of all the card stuff I've ever done, I think this is probably the best, you know, and I'm not the only person that's actually said that as well. So I'm going to give this 100%. If you're looking for a really cool card trick that's really easy to do, that allows you to, you know, cut straight through the faff and go straight to it, then this is one that you might want to have a look at. It's super commercial. It's about a 10-second reset. Everything it feels like it's all examinable. It's not. At the end, the superimposed cards are examinable. The deck's not. You could have them pick up and spread through the deck and they wouldn't see anything, but you couldn't go through every single card with a fine-tooth comb. But nobody ever does, and that's the whole point of this routine, and that's what's really good about it as well. So yeah, it's called Superimpose. You can get it from Penguin Magic and also all of the dealers that stock Penguin Magic stuff. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So there you go, guys. That's another review show special in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me here on Magic TV. Now, don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'm going to be back again soon with another review show next Sunday, so make sure you watch that. If you haven't seen the Q&A already, go and see the Q&A from earlier on today. That's kick-ass. And also, please don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the NETRIX, please do so. It's www.thenetrix.com. It's my online streaming platform for magicians, and you can get access immediately. There's hundreds of tricks, hundreds of sleights. There's so much good stuff. It blows my mind. But I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.